right, guys, it is Blockchain coming at you with an exciting announcement. I am going to be doing another masterclass giveaway this February. So for the entire month long, for every single I guess we'll comment, like, and subscribe. So you have to have all three of those, but for every single comment on the videos, you will actually be entered into a drawing for a free masterclass. So I've done a couple, did a couple last year, but this is my first one this year. So all February long, make sure you guys comment, subscribe, and like the video. And just in regards to supporting the channel, I will be doing a drawing at the end of the month for one free masterclass. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the charts, guys. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Corey, aka Blockchain. I am primarily a technical analysis trader that follows the Elliott wave principle, but I also do use other, I guess, indicators and other strategies just to help complement that process as well. So, and I am also a full-time professional trader inside of the New Wave Traders Discord. You can definitely go ahead and join us with the $97 a month or the 14-day trial for just $25 and the $597 a year. Again, 14-day trial for just $25. So pretty screaming deal on that piece, but it's full of over 1,000 active traders, many of them full-time professionals such as myself. So if you're looking to get results and live on your terms and have financial freedom, there's no better place to do so in a group of professionals such as this Discord group here. So hopefully I'll see you guys in there. So let's go ahead and dive into the charts and do an update from what I was looking at yesterday. So yesterday I was looking for us to take a move up to Bitcoin here for $37 or 37,300, roughly in that ballpark. We definitely got that. We're sitting at 37,649 right now. So a couple resistance points to pay attention to, and we also want to look at a potential bull and bear scenario as well. So the bear scenario is that this is still all corrective, and basically having a three-wave move here for an A, coming up for another three-wave move here for a B, and then ultimately come down again one more time for a C. And that is definitely something that is still possible. Another scenario that I also want to highlight as well would basically be that for the overall fourth wave, if this was an A, a B, a C, a D, and then an E, that didn't come all the way down onto the bottom of the trend line, which happens. You know, that definitely does happen sometimes. So to look at it on the RSI, kind of a similar thing where basically we'd have our A, this would be the B, this would be the C, the D, and then the E. So I'd probably bring that back a little bit. So the only thing I don't like is this move right here. I mean, you can't really do it in the middle because it would have to be something like that. But something along this, that, you know, with the RSI, normally a match is pretty good in regards to a triangle. It needs to match the wave structure. So that could be a potential. In regards to if that is the case, and then that means that this leg right here would be the start of something. And with the break of the trend line here, finding it as support and then taking off again, it is a strong potential that I want to keep on the table. So now I did actually have a short that picked up here, and I did close out of it for a small little scalp, and I'll tell you why here in a sec, and then we'll dive into some of the other coins. But if that is the case, in regards to if this is the start of something, basically we'd have our three-wave move back, and then another, this potentially could be a larger B wave or a wave 3 for a potential wave 5, and that's what we want to look at. So if we had this as a wave 5, let's see, try and snug it up a little bit. A couple things we'd want to look at in regards to levels in between. We have the 618, which is at 38.5 basically, so that's an important level we'll want to watch. And then really outside above that, we have the 1-to-1, which is at a great resistance point, which is the weekly resistance. That's this blue line right here at 42,650. So potentially to have a 1-to-1 for a B wave right here. So that is a strong potential. But if we are looking at a third wave, we would break it right here and go up to 1.618. Which would basically be at 51, and it is definitely possible that could be a move that Bitcoin here is trying to make. Now, the only thing I really don't like about this structure here, normally a third wave is very impulsive. It's very strong. It's really the strongest waves of the move, where we had a really strong wave move right here to break this. But I'm not necessarily a big fan of this structure right here. I'm gonna look at a smaller time frame, but it is definitely still possible. It's not off the table yet, in my opinion. So you also can see that here on the 6 hour, we have the RSI that's getting above the bullish control zone, and we are topping out on some of the other indicators as well. And normally we'll need to have some kind of reset. So the only way that would be possible, this would basically be a wave 1, come back down, reset for a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So meaning that this wave right here would be coming to an end pretty soon in regards to resetting for a wave 2, or basically if it comes down on a 5-wave move, that's our C wave that we would be looking at as well. So let's go ahead and dive into the 1 hour here. So for an impulsive move, here's really what I'm looking at that I don't necessarily like. This right here is pretty good. That could be a potential solid wave 1 with a 2. And then this would have to be basically a wave 1. And then this would be the 2. This whole thing really start looking at a 3, 4, and then a 5 to get up there. So we would definitely have to have some overextended waves for it to be the case. But this right here looks like a pretty good wave 1 in my opinion. And the 1.618 is right where we are at right now for it to potentially be a wave 3, 4, and then we would have a 5 basically coming up. So that would really be our wave 1 of our wave 3, and then go up again for our wave 3, 4, and 5 inside the wave 3. So being that we hit the 1.618, that means one of two things. That means either A, this is an A, B, and then this would be a C leg, or B, that this is basically the third leg. And it's all going to come down to what kind of reaction we get right where we're at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to watch and interesting to see it play out. You can see we are kind of getting into a little bit of a wedge here, which is fairly common for a B wave as well. You can see we did the same exact thing right here, where we had this, really, wedge formation playing out, and then just kind of just bounce around, holding a triangle or that trend line, in that triangular formation, and you can see that we just fell straight out of it, and it looks like we're kind of doing the same thing. So that's what we want to pay attention to. On the smaller time frame, on the 15-minute here, you can see even more of the wave structure in regards to where we're at the moment. This right here isn't ideal for a wave 1. This is coming across very 3 waves versus a 5-wave move up. And that's what's throwing me off initially, but it is possible that, it's from a lot of Elliott wave perspective, this can't be a 5-wave move. So that's what I'm not a huge fan of, just this whole thing starting off. But if we did, basically this would be our A, B, and then have our C coming up. 3-wave move coming down, and then pretty strong wave right here. And when you look at it, this whole formation right here too is kind of wonky, just in regards to it's not exactly clean in regards to a 5-wave move. So it's just it just bounces around all over the place. So it's not the cleanest formation. Now we can still definitely move up correctively. We can still definitely go higher. However, it's just not the cleanest to be, impulsive, which is, I guess, leaning me a little bit away from this being, the start of a potentially a third wave move. So if we go back and we look at this leg coming up, right here, we'd really have to have a leading diagonal for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. Sorry, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So pretty strong, move up there. And then this is pretty soft. So being that we are coming up and we're testing some of the trend lines here, testing some of the resistance points, not seeing a huge reaction, so a little undecisive at the moment. So we'll see what it does to ultimately play out. Ideally, what I'm looking for is for it to correct back down and retest the pivot that was down here on the 1 hour, which was at 33.76. And then blast off again with a C wave to make it a little bit more impulsive, get up and test the weekly pivot again. So those are our two cases that we have to watch and pay attention to. So if we do have a correction here, we move down in a 5-wave fashion. That is our C wave, and we can stop at the 618, which would be somewhere within here as well for the move. I'll definitely update the Discord as that goes and plays out. So, kind of decision time. Let's take a quick look at ETH. So, ETH played out perfectly for this move that I was looking for yesterday for a clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break that little trend line, establish the support, and take off again. And we had that last little lick up there for the 5th wave. So now I am looking for it to be a 4th wave correction. It would make sense. It would also fall in line for that Bitcoin correction back down too as well. And what we'd want to see is, again, maybe not come down and test all the way at the 1530 here. It is definitely possible, but kind of consolidate a little bit, within here. If this is a wave 3, normally what we'll see is come down and correct the 236 if we're super bullish, which is a little bit higher there. It's at the 1562. And then we also can come back down to the 0.382, which is at 1500 as well. So with ETH, I don't necessarily see us coming back down quite that far if that's the case, but really looking for a moon mission on ETH here. If this ultimately would be a wave 1, this is basically a wave 2 correction to come back down. Now, wave 2 can come all the way back down, and as long as it doesn't break the prior low. We can come down and hit the 618. Basically, puts us right around this trend line that we blasted off from. So we can ultimately come back down and correct it, and which would put us roughly at that trend line to come back down, establish the support again, and take off. So it would line up for a correction on Bitcoin as well. Let's take a quick look at some link here. So before, for my last update from basically an ABC, and it still looks like we're doing the same thing for another A, B, and the C right here. Really finding this as a resistance. Came back down and really just bounced off that 618. So this was kind of the ballpark I was looking for a reaction. Didn't get a strong reaction. We did get that 5-wave move up, which we can still definitely have a zigzag for an A, B, and a C. But again, kind of similar thing where it does look like it is topping out a little bit on this move at 25.3. It just looks a little bit tired. We might get one more little leg up for, if this is a 5-wave move, for a 1, 2, 3. This would be the 4th wave. Have one more leg up, basically 26.6 is where we could potentially be looking at. But then it would still, again, look like it would want to have a correction back down as it is moving up fairly correctively. DOT, the almighty DOT. So I was looking for overall this to be a 4th wave. It still can be, however, it's pretty drawn out. It's a lot more drawn out than what I had wanted it to be for a 4th wave. However, so far with this little corrective move, it's played out perfectly. What we could be looking at is this guy was just a drawn out triangle, and we are starting our 5th leg up. in which I was looking for the 25.3, which would put us at the 7.618. So definitely still on target here. Instead of this being an ABC, it would be basically our A, B, C, D, and E for a little triangle. Now starting our basically our fifth wave, going back up to 25.3 in that ballpark. So that's what I would be looking for a dot perspective. So pretty nice consolidation here, and nice little takeoff. So really that 7.618 is what I'd be looking at. All right, and let's get some Doge going, some Dogecoin. $1. Let's get it. Let's get that dollar. All right. So let's actually zoom out a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. So what I was looking for some Doge was this guy to be our third wave. We were probably about right in here whenever I did this technical analysis, and we just continued to power through, having that extended third wave in Dogecoin, which is pretty sweet. This still looks like a fourth wave in my opinion. Very strong consolidation for that triangle formation, and I still think Doge still has room to go. So with that third wave, this is the fourth. Basically, that's how we get up to 17 cents on Dogecoin. Dollar is a ways away. I think it's going to take a minute to get there. I don't think it's unreasonable. I think we could definitely get well above that, especially if this guy here is going to be our wave one, because I'm still counting a solid 5-wave move right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So very, very possible. I'll do a little bit more technical analysis on offline, I guess, to see if we can have this potentially be our overall wave one. This is the 2, just in regards to how long it took. So that's the only thing I have a little bit of concern about versus wave 4. But I would definitely see us get up to this, 6.618, possibly the 7.618 for a wave 5, which would basically be 30 cents. So I know there's going to be some FOMO behind Dogecoin. I know that there's a big push right now for it, so it is definitely possible. So be definitely looking for this ballpark and ultimately see where we land on this guy. All right, and XTZ, we'll go ahead and just take a quick look at as well. XTZ is really just all over the place, corrective move after corrective move. In regards to the overall formation, not really the prettiest. So what I would really just be looking at again with this guy is an A, B, another C up, and basically an A, B, and a C here for basically a W, X, and a Y ultimately. And see what that plays out. Let's see here. Whenever we have these crazy formations here, they're always a little bit more difficult to predict just because there's a lot more options that are on the table, versus to have something impulsive. But I think there's a little bit of opportunity to go up a little bit here on XTZ still. However, just kind of seems a little confused and not a ton of movement, honestly, just really dancing in between the $3 and the 260 mark. That's just been going through some correction and some consolidation. So it's kind of at a point where it just needs to make up a mind and choose a decision, just because this is a bit of a mess, especially compared to everything else. Let's go with the 8-hour. So yeah, as you can see, we have some pretty nice moves all the way through, and then we get to here, and it's pretty gross in my opinion, from a corrective standpoint. So a lot of indecision, not necessarily something I'm interested in looking at jumping at, versus some of these other coins I just covered offers a lot better alternative in regards to some setup. So All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the update. Make sure you guys smash the likes, hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can get over 500 subscribers here shortly. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the Discord.